This is KCCK's Culture Crawl. I'm Dennis Green, and my guest today is Marcia Hughes. Marcia is Auntie Mame in the upcoming production at the Iowa City Community Theater of the musical Mame. Marcia, welcome.
Good morning, Dennis. It's my pleasure.
So you have made a little bit of a career of playing the big women's parts in the shows of the last 50 or 60 years.
I have. I guess that's
You've
true.
been Mama Rose.
Patsy Cline.
The best Little Whorehouse.
Miss Mona.
Yep.
A sea witch. Ursula, the sea witch.
Ursula and the Little Mermaid.
Talk about formidable females. That's kind of what I do.
Formidable females. Yeah. And Marcia is one of the most formidable females I know.
Thank you.
So now, Auntie Mame.
Yes. Oh, she's wonderful.
Have you ever played Mame before?
I have not. I have had the privilege of doing this show before.
Okay.
But when I did it before, I played Vera Charles, the sidekick friend. So this is my first opportunity to play Mame, and I'm just thrilled about it. She's a wonderful character, just, embodies living life to its fullest and being positive. She's sort of a timeless siren, as our director calls her, and so that makes it a lot of fun to play.
This show is based on a play.
It's based on a book originally.
Okay.
Written.
But so it is somewhat biographical.
It's somewhat biographical. It was originally a book, Auntie Mame, and then that was a play that starred Rosalind Russell and won Tonys and a lot of awards. Then it was made into a musical by the brilliant Jerry Herman, who wrote all the music for this show. So it's one of his milestone markers. He was a young composer at the time, and this was sort of viewed as the way that the audiences took him seriously. He'd had a hit with Hello Dolly, and once he wrote this and had two back-to-back hits, then they knew this was a composer.
He was somebody.
That was somebody, yeah, absolutely. So it made Angela Lansbury a star as a musical on Broadway. And then there is a movie version of the musical with Lucille Ball.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep, that's probably what many of us are familiar with from endless reruns on cable TV.
Most likely.
But for those who may not be familiar with the story, because it's one that is, it gets trotted out every now and again for a fresh. It's like coming out of the Disney vaults.
I
bring it out every 20 years for a new generation.
It's true. This show has not been done in this area for over 30 years. So it has kind of surprised me as a huge fan of musical theater and of Mame that people don't know the story. But the story is that it takes place over a span of 20 years. And in the late 20s, Mame is an outrageous, eccentric woman living in New York City, living the high life as a single woman. And she inherits her brother's son when her brother dies suddenly. And her brother is actually from Iowa. And she inherits his son to move in with her in New York. And then it follows their escapades and adventures over the next several years through the Depression, into the 40s, and as he grows up. So we have two actors that play Patrick. One, that's the nephew. One is a 10-year-old, and one is a college-age student. So there are two actors that flip that role as the young man grows up. But Auntie Mame is timeless and does not age.
And, of course, it was Patrick then who recounted the story
Absolutely.
in his
the
memoirs
book is
in
written
the original book.
By Patrick Dennis. Yes, it's written by him. Mm-hmm.
Even if you are not familiar with the musical or the story, you know some of the songs.
The songs are well known. It has one of the best, most quickly recognized title songs ever with Mame. Also, We Need a Little Christmas came from this musical. It's done often as a standard, as a jazz version, a standard version, a pop version. It's been redone many times, but it actually was written for Mame. If He Walked Into My Life, or When He Walked Into My Life is in there. Also, It's Today, Open a New Window. There's some beautiful music in here. Yeah, it's a lovely show. Jerry Herman just did some brilliant work on this one.
Well, at the risk of saying, Marcia, you're typecast as strong, formidable women, but you have played a lot of the bigger-than-life female roles.
Yeah.
So
it's a privilege.
Of course. But how do you as an actress, how do you go in and make this character different than, say, Ursula's a bad example because Ursula's the villain, but it would be easy to play these all kind of similar.
That's true. The music actually drives a lot of how I define a character. This one, all of her music tells the story of living life to its fullest and not holding back. And so that allows me as an actor to be able to play her more successfully that way. She's always joyful with very few exceptions. She's always embracing life, embracing everything around her. I think that the opportunity to play someone that to an extent was a real person is always fun. I looked back at the book, I looked back at how the story was written, and basically this is a woman who took everything that came her way and made the best out of it, lemons into lemonade no matter what happened. I think that is a little bit different than some of the others that I've played in the past, although admittedly musical theater strong women have a lot of similarities to them too. There's always, as a musical is written, there's an adversity, you have to overcome it. That's the 11 o'clock moment of the show, then that moves on. So how you do that, and some of this will also be told by the supporting characters. She has a really great group of supporting characters in this show. I mentioned Vera Charles, who'll be played by Ellen Stevenson, well-known actress in the Iowa City area. Also, the house butler, Ito, will be played by Josh Cezanne, also very well-known in the corridor. And the gal that takes care of Patrick and brings him to Auntie Mame is played by another actress, well-known Carol Martin. So there's some very strong local actors in here, and the characters that they play really support Mame's role in being that joyful, embodying the live life to the fullest.
And you showed me the list from the orchestra as well.
Yes,
and
I have to turn that sheet over.
Fabulous band as well.
21-piece orchestra. I'm so excited. Wes Habley is directing the orchestra, and I'd be remiss, I need to back up. Richard Teagues is directing the show, and he has put together a wonderful vision for this. This has been one of his favorite shows for years, and I know that he's very excited about the opportunity to reintroduce corridor audiences to Mame. He's working with Wes Habley as music director, and Wes has put together a 21-piece orchestra.
Our friends Suzanne Smith,
yes,
Tom
Nelson, Ed Kotick, yep. Terry Hodge, and also Denny Hodge. Lots and lots of fabulous people.
Lot of familiar names in the band. That's going to be good thing you have a big voice.
Yes, here's the thing.
Because big orchestra, small room,
right.
And Marcia.
And no mics. This is a musical theater as it was originally intended to be, and that's how I always say that. I was taught by my music directors how to project, and I really embody that. So when I work in a theater where you are wearing amplification, they often have to turn my amplification down because, and I don't apologize for that. I do believe that that's kind of how musical theater was intended to be. So I work really hard to be prepared for that, to work with that orchestra and not need that amplification. But they start with us on Sunday, so we'll see how that goes.
The show is Mame from the Iowa City Community Theater. Opens September 22.
It does, yes. And the Iowa City Community Theater is located on the Johnson County Fairgrounds, so that's on Oak Crest Hill Road. They have a building there that they build their sets and their shows into. The show is available. Tickets are available for the show online by going to iowacitycommunitytheater.com or by calling 319-338-0443. Now, here's a little special for anybody who's listening and sees us.
Hey.
If you go to order your tickets ahead and you put in or access the code MAME2017, MAME 2017, you will save $3 on each ticket that you purchase.
Okay.
So that's a really good little bonus for your listeners today.
All right.
So please take advantage of that. We would really love to have you there. It's going to be a beautiful show and a lot of fun.
Open September 22nd at the Iowa City Community Theater. Again, the website is
iowacitycommunitytheater.com. And shows on the Fridays and Saturdays are at 7:30, and on the Sunday afternoons are at 2. General admission, so we'd ask you to get there a little early, but there's not a bad seat in the house.
Yeah, it is a wonderful, intimate space.
It's going to be great fun.
Marcia Hughes from Mame with the Iowa City Community Theater. Well, have fun, oh formidable one.
Live!